Hello folks, welcome to Branson Guided Fishing Trips weekly fishing report for Table Rock Lake. Today is Saturday, May the 11th. Lake level's 19.85. It's coming down anywhere from 1/10 to 2/10 of a foot a day. It rained a lot today. We've been getting, not a lot of rain, but steady rain over the course of the last week, off and on. Few things going on. The fishing's great. It's probably one of the best I've ever seen Table Rock. As far as, the bass are concerned, the smallmouth are biting, the largemouth are biting, the spots are biting. You can catch and fish for however you want to. As far as, the bushes, there's a lot of bushes in the water. You can catch them a few different ways. If you like to flip, you can catch them flipping. One of the ways that we're catching them is we're fishing topwater, whether it be a poplar or a zero spook or even a redfin out in front of those bushes. Main lake and secondary, in and around spawning pockets. You're either catching those fish in there or catching those fish coming and going. Still a lot of spawning fish. There's probably still going to be a lot of fish spawning, for the next couple weeks at least. Things got started kind of late, and things are moving right along though. As far as another way I'm catching them in and around those bushes is a Gamakatsu 16th ounce wacky jig head. It's a G Finesse brand under the Gamakatsu label. Shinfuke designed it, and it works really good for weightless trick worms, Senkos, or any type of soft plastic that you want to use. I'm using a green pumpkin Senko almost exclusively on it, throwing it with 10-pound braid and an 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. You can get it in and around those bushes and catch a lot of fish. 40-50 fish days are not uncommon. Been a little slow the last couple days with the fronts that are moving in and out, and when I say slow, we're still catching 25 to 35 fish in a 4 or 6 hour trip. A lot of smallmouth biting. This lake is chock full of smallmouth. It just, every year it amazes me. It's getting better and better and better. Some of the ways we're catching them, as far as topwater goes, catching them on a redfin, a Zara spook, a poplar, and then one of the neat things that I'm throwing, that I've been throwing the last few years that works really good, it's a wake style type bait, and it's a Spro rat. I'm throwing the 30 and the next size up. The colors I'm throwing are Morning Dawn and Nasty Shad. Those are probably my two favorite ones, but just kind of mixing it up, giving them something different to look at, and catching a lot of fish that way. So it's the other thing that we're doing. This is just more or less a smallmouth deal, catching a few Kentuckys on it every now and again, but mostly smallmouth, catching them on a Ned rig, throwing a 5-fish lures Ned rig head, 3/16 and an 1/8. The head works really good. It comes through cover good. It's got a little wild weed guard on there that works really well. It just seems to come through the brush real good. As far as the baits I'm throwing on it, I'm throwing a few different things. I'm throwing a half of a Senko. I'm throwing the Last Tech style baits. Green pumpkin, dirt is the other color I'm throwing. On the real bright days, I'm even throwing a translucent watermelon color on there. As far as the areas, again, in and around spawning pockets, you can catch them on the main lake, flat gravel points, sides of flat gravel points, main lake swings and pockets. Keeping the boat in 15 to 20 foot. Some days they're out, closer to that 12 to 14 foot, but most days they're in that 6 to 10 foot range. The other thing I'm doing is throwing a tube, a green pumpkin tube, green pumpkin candy tube on a 3/16 ounce jig head. As far as the Kentuckys go, and the smallmouth and even the largemouth, a lot of those fish are getting done and moving out there, where they're going to move to spend the summer, but they're going to be shallower than they will be this summer. I'm catching them on a swim bait, a Kitech 3.3 and a 2.8. One day they like one over the other. What makes them tick, I don't know, but 2.8, 3.3 Kitech. Sexy Shad has been probably the best one for me under cloudy conditions, followed by the Color Shad under sunny conditions. One of the big keys to that is you got to dip the tail chartreuse. It makes a big difference. Up the river, you know, there's some stained water. When I've been up there, I've caught a few on a spinner bait, but mostly it's a flipping bite. And I'm flipping a Missile D-Bomb in black and blue and green pumpkin both. On the green pumpkin, dyeing the little pincher chartreuse. Those are the only two baits I've been flipping. It's working well. Fishing's really good. If you guys get a chance and you can get off work and you come down and play, you know, it's probably the best you're ever going to see it. So fishing's good. I look for it to stay good. I don't look for things to get real tough until it gets real hot. So get out, get fishing. Good luck. Be safe. We'll see you next week.